Are you experiencing a setback and now are worried about your next move? Are you worried about the future and wonder how you will succeed after all of this is over? Does your path lead to a meaningful life at the top? If it doesn't, you urgently need a plan for your life. Hello, I'm Kirby Ingalls, and I am sitting here about 2 hours outside of the St. Louis in the Mark Twain National Forest. And today I want to have a conversation with you about having character and the guts to live by your values and principles. So in this video, we're going to talk about failing and the setbacks in life. In this conversation, we'll discuss how to move forward and start to win again, purposefully. And I want to talk about how to recover and rebuild to become a better version of yourself. So let's get started. Let our advance worry become advanced thinking and planning, said Winston Churchill. Churchill was a master planner, not just as a prime minister of the United Kingdom, but throughout his life, and most notably in World War II. The globe honors him by coining him as the last lion. And even the Russians would call him the bulldog because of his ferociousness and his focus. It would be best if you were a master planner in your life. If you do not plan your life, life will happen to you and around you, but certainly not for you. You're gambling with your life and with every pitch and toss of the dice. Now, I prefer to make my luck than wish for it. There's nothing, right? Nothing is accomplished well unless you have an actual plan. And planning is possible. You are the most critical factor of planning. To strategically plan is your decision. You have to have the desire to be more than you were yesterday. You have to want to leave an impact. And you have to want to create a path for generational success. And you have to want a significant profession to fulfill a meaning and purposeful life. You have to want to make others' lives better. It's not enough to say it, but to choose to design your life. You have to start designing it. The only way to do something, to be someone, to be successful, is to start with the plan. You have strengths, you have resources, skills, and experiences for a reason. Stop dragging yourself to work and working for Friday so you can go home and eat barbecue, drink beer, and watch sports. You have to have a purpose, and you need to get out there and you need to find it. Start designing the rest of your life today. It's never too late. And you can continue to live the way you've always have, or you can live like you've never lived before. And when bouncing back from a setback, your attitude will determine your altitude. Your thoughts will determine who you become. And there is no question at all. Whatever you believe, then that is what you are. How you think is one of the keys to unlocking the vision you have for your work and life, and as well as your family. So change your thinking. Change your life. It's easy for me to sit here and say this, and just as quickly you'll agree with me. But do you really believe it? I certainly do. And I believe that you can change your thinking because it happened to me. Do you work to improve your thoughts? Do you study, read, receive coaching from coaches and mentors and deliberately center and guide your thoughts? Do you strive to build a positive, successful mindset? You end up with a negative mindset, and that will only get you by, but nothing more, and maybe even less. An optimistic view that was pointed out to me yesterday was that instead of counting my blessings, I should be counting my future blessings, right? Now, that's a successful and positive mindset, a growth mindset. How you look at people or circumstances will be how others see you in your life. Two people can look at a situation and see something entirely different. One sees the opportunity and the other person sees the problem. Just like you and I can see a person and believe something different about them. Just like one person will focus on a positive aspect, while others will look for the negative things about them. One will compliment and the other will criticize. What you see depends on your outlook and your perspective. How you develop your mindset will prime the conditions or situations you deal with in the future. It could be best if you created, right, a mindset for success. You have to focus and work on that mindset. It's critically important. So shift your focus from the negative and choose to see the positive. Stop expecting bad things to happen to you. Decide to count on your blessings. Find a way to win and stop making excuses for losing. Your feelings and your viewpoint will determine where you're going to end up in life, and make a daily effort to filter your thoughts so you can create an experience of success and become a person of significance. Learning is a foundational piece preparing for your comeback. Knowledge is another key that opens up so many doors to success, and it does in anything you set out to do. The saying goes, look before you leap, and that's pretty accurate. That isn't the only preparation that you should do. What about learn before you leap? I want to encourage you to learn everything about your desires. Learn about your industry. Look for the information about the economy. Learn about advancing technology programs and platforms that can launch you forward. Start studying the world and life. You should set aside at least an hour a day to at least sit there and study and concentrate and focus on your future, on the things that you want to do. And if you want to get ahead, you need to invest in yourself. Now, it doesn't have to cost you an arm and leg. In the beginning, right? You need an internet connection. And thousands, if not more, books can be found on the internet for free. There's free courses and so much more. You have to pay for that connection. You also have a library. There's surplus stores. And there's so many other opportunities. I also recommend that you invest 10% of your income into your knowledge and education when you get into a better financial place. This not only shows that you were diligent in your pursuit of excellence, but shows what is important to you. Knowledge is a key that opens up doors for not only opportunity, but success. And successful people got to where they are because they knew things that others didn't, and they took action on that information. And if you had the knowledge, you would have known when to take the action and when to let the opportunities pass you by. You begin to see opportunities like it's X-ray vision, like you're Superman. And you have a heightened sense of awareness and knowledge to make the right decisions. So if you, right, so it would be wise for you to say that learning doesn't end after your traditional academic education. You should be learning every single day. It would be best if you continue to learn throughout your entire life. It would be best if you continue to build on the foundation of your traditional academic training and expand your learning by touching on new topics or diving deeper into the ones that you already do know. So continue to self-educate and do what it takes to collect the knowledge that you need to develop in the areas of life that interest you the most. Now, whether you failed or had a setback recently, you probably still want to succeed. And to be victorious, you must understand that the barriers in front of you, prime yourself for the difficulties ahead by gathering knowledge and continuing your information, your acquisition of information long after college. Don't stop believing in yourself and your purpose. Don't ever start something that you don't plan on finishing. When you felt the desire to run a company, the vision to start that business, the idea to write that book, you had a date in mind. So don't give up. Despite the setbacks, you need to be persistent. Persistence is firm or obstinate continuous in the course of action despite the difficulty or the opposition you may face. Persistence is what the British might call the stiff upper lip or British stoicism. Remember, when all the rage was about the World War II poster discovered in a bookshop, keep calm and carry on, it means self-discipline, fortitude, and remaining calm in adversity. It's just an inspirational poster back in pre-World War II as it is during the COVID-19 pandemic. It's just as inspirational. And persistence, right? Persistence is working and executing the plan even though you are not getting your immediate results. Persistence is showing up every single day, regardless of how you feel, and being consistent. And when you persist, you develop essential and desirable traits in those who have a goal and they want to achieve. You create a character that is admired by others. And developing character is the chief business in most people's lives, or it should be. Because when you're in a cemetery and you take a look at the markers, some wonderfully decorated markers at that, but only one or two of those 1,000 people will be remembered by those who come after them. Think about that. Pause for a second. Only one or two out of 1,000 people will be remembered by those who come after. They will be worthy of writing about it in history. And they will live on forever because they will be immortalized by the people, because they will continue to tell their story and carry their legacy on. Those people, they understood the persistence of decent living and persisted while the remainder foundered, and they found very little to live for. Persistence is not compromising or giving up or giving ways to others, no matter how hard the labor or toil. You need to stay determined. You need to stay persistent, and you need to remain committed. Do not consider anything for your interest which makes you break your word. Quit your modesty or inclines you to practice which will not bear the light or look the world in the face. And Marcus Aurelius said that. If you are experienced hard times or setback, don't quit. Stay the course and remain committed. Persistence is key to getting everything that you want or desire in life. Don't stop believing in yourself and why you are doing this, because most people forget the why and then they fail. I wouldn't be where I am today, and neither would you if it wasn't for other people who contributed to our success. See, two people are always better than one. And I know it might feel like you're alone sometimes, and there's seasons where you do feel alone, but you're never really alone. And that's the truth. Someone still has a vested interest in your well-being. You have to acknowledge it. It is how we feel about our current situation, not always the reality of that situation, though. Here's another area where you are the biggest obstacle in your way, and not the other way around. Relationships are significant to your prosperity and to strengthen your life. We can't do this alone. Even after watching the world's best survivalists for 6 seasons on the reality TV series alone, they couldn't last 3 to 6 months by themselves. And that says a lot. Also, when they had couples go together, the length of stay was about the same. They had a loved one with them, and they still only lasted 3 to 6 months. Each one of us loves being an individual. But if you are going to become successful, you cannot do life without the help of others. And since the beginning of time, we have survived and thrived in groups. When you live in groups, our environment becomes more complex, and we acquire new adaptations and enhancements, which enhance our ability to survive and thrive. Just take a moment to look around you today. Even despite the stay-at-home orders because of COVID-19 and the country's just beginning to open back up, and probably only like 20% of the businesses are really functioning, take an inventory of everything that has had some influence from another person. The clothes you wear, the books you read, the foods you eat. Each one of these items are basic items, but you didn't get there by itself, right? Those items didn't get to you. You are not alone in this life. They didn't create themselves. Some people live on an island, but you probably do not, right? You're here in the United States with me or on some continent. You are part of a system that is a dynamic system, and it has evolved and grown over 100 years and thousands of years. Every one of us is dependent on someone else for something, even if it's toilet paper. We are where we are today because of connections and relationships. And in the end, the only thing that will last is your relationships and your connections. So because when you are gone, right, when you're gone, you can't take any of this stuff with you. And stuff. I would bet that the most significant investment that you can make today is in other people. Your actions today and tomorrow will determine how that plays out. All opportunities come through life by the way of relationships. It is a give and take world, but you can change that by making it a give and receive world. Realize that receive something is to be trusted with it. And you must be good steward of whatever you receive. You have to steward it, but you only gain by giving first. We are here to help other people. Rather than call this the self-help industry, as Simon Sinek says in his book, Start With Why, we need to reframe it the help others industry. It would be best if you did this for the people in your life, not just what they contribute to your personal and professional well-being, but as an opportunity to improve each other's lives. Now, no matter what your vision or mission in life is, you aren't going to get there without the help of others. And that's today's message. Don't forget to give us a review and smash that subscribe button. I'm Kirby Ingalls, and it's been a pleasure, and I'll see you next time.